I don't celebrate Christmas, my dear. I am a pagan, but thank you very much. What's shaking, sister? And welcome. And if you are a Christian, Merry Christmas to you. Happy birthday to your God. My holiday was the 21st on solstice. And how are you? I was going to play a few videos in an audio book and just chill out. It's nice to see. I saw you lurking this morning. You don't have to apologize. Christianity's a good thing. It's just not my religion. Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing better, but I know the drill. Yeah. Right on. Right on. And so I haven't been in a church since I was 5. I haven't seen a Christmas tree in my house in 40 years. I bet. It's hard to explain ourselves sometimes. Right on. Right on. Got some cool paganism, drinking of the blood and eating the flesh. Just like a bunch of good pagans. I'm teasing. I'm glad you chatted. I wasn't going to be chatting much, but I was going to play some Last Kingdom, the original. And if you'd like to learn a little bit about my religion, stay tuned. Right on. Nice cinnamon tea. So what will you have? Will you have a holiday meal tomorrow? I missed you for good. You did? You mean you're not even here right now? I'm just imagining this. Right on. Oh, go to sleep, get some rest, and thank you for saying hey. It is almost 11 o'clock p.m. here in the Gettysburg battlefield in Pennsylvania. Well, yeah, sometimes in the winter time, sometimes I get on really late. I'm just up, I'm gonna chill out. I'm gonna smoke some buds. I'm gonna drink this awesome hot tea. And we're going to listen to the very first, a little bit of the very, I'm sorry if that music's too loud. We're going to listen to a little bit of the first book of my very favorite book series from the television program, The Last Kingdom, but the books are 100 times better, and I've been reading them for over 10 years. Right on. Awesome. You do your thing, girl. I kind of know where you're at a little bit. Oh, nice. Super. Super. Oh, right. That's right. I used to live in Boulder. I lived in Boulder 30 years ago. Yep, I used to live by Mork and Mindy's house. It's so cold here, I can't believe it. And I grew up in some of the coldest parts of the country. And it's really cold here. The snow is gone. And then it's supposed to be in the 50s, I think, next weekend for New Year's. I think down at the shore in Baltimore and DC, it's supposed to be about 50 degrees. Oh, right on. Right on, yeah, so it's going to be like 50. Isn't that weird? Well, yeah, it's Colorado. You guys usually get winter like a month before we do. You guys usually have winter in November. Sometimes we don't really get hit with any winter weather till February. But when we get hit, we get hit. I live right here at the foothills of the Appalachians. They're not very big mountains. They're only a couple thousand feet, but it makes a difference. So will you have a dinner or a feast tomorrow? Will you sacrifice the Pope's wizards? I want to be one of the Pope's wizards. I love the hats. Sammy, it's good to see you. I included you on my private video, I believe, on my Facebook page because I'm acquainted with you and you're an MS survivor. So I hope you enjoyed my video hangout on Facebook for my lifelong dear friends. I'd sure like to come back to Colorado someday. I liked it there. Cute freaking women everywhere. I rolled into Colorado and there's like a foot of snow on the ground, but it was nice out. And there's like girls driving around because I lived in Boulder by the university. It's girls driving, and I was in my 20s. And there's girls driving around with the tops off. I mean, with the car top off, the Jeeps and stuff. And I was like, damn, these guys are out having a blast in the wintertime. Awesome. My girlfriend was a ski instructor at Vail, and we used to go to Telluride to see the Grateful Dead and go see the Grateful Dead at Red Rocks with Santana. We saw Santana at Red Rocks. Well, thank you, Sammy. Yeah, I think I gifted you a sub this morning. Merry Christmas and happy birthday to Jesus. You know, I may be a pagan, and some of my friends are surprised to hear me say this. I have not checked, thank you. I haven't been. I saw Red Rocks at Red Rocks. I saw Santana with John Lee Hooker for Santana's Healer Tour with John Lee Hooker. And I saw Steve Miller there. I saw the Grateful Dead there probably 3 times. And then Mile High Stadium in Denver. I was out in Colorado when I was young, seeing a lot of concerts and stuff, Mile High Stadium. I've seen the Grateful Dead probably 500 times. I've seen most bands lots of times, yeah. Colorado was great. One of the reasons I left Colorado is because there's no ocean. I had to go to California, go to the ocean. Here in Pennsylvania, everything was built in the 1630s, and the ocean's only 2 hours away. Oh yeah, right on. I saw AC/DC at Alpine Valley. I saw The Cult, Metallica, the Rolling Stones, Steve Miller, Bob Dylan, all at Alpine Valley, Wisconsin. Yeah, me too. I lived all over California. I've hitchhiked the entire length of California, from San Francisco to San Diego, all the way down to Mexico. 30 years ago, I hitchhiked from Kansas to San Francisco, down to San Diego. I kicked drugs completely, right? I hopped an Amtrak, went back to Illinois, went back to work. Yeah, well, I have both. That's the thing. I got the mountains and the ocean. That's why I moved out of Colorado. Plus, I was done growing 300 pounds of weed, so I left Colorado. I was growing weed for my uncles back then, and so they would say, "Where would you like to live this year?" Southern. 15 years ago, right on. So you were in Ocean City, Southern OC, or you were in California, SoCal? I grew 300 pounds there every 2 months. My family lives down there. All my relatives went to Pendleton. They were in the Marines. My brothers and sisters live down in Carlsbad, Oceanside, Glendale, Ventura, Venice, Glendale, Santa Barbara. Half my family lives in California. Most of them I don't speak to. They're crazy. Oh, dude, are you, wait. Did you need to tune into my live streams. I lived in the Cleveland National Forest. I used to sleep under Mount Palomar Observatory. I won the best beard contest in Santee in 1992. Oh yeah, I'm real familiar with Lake Henshaw. Are you shitting me? Oh yeah, I know Southern Cal. I've hiked all the way into Mexico in the Rockies. I've hiked about the entire Rockies, yeah. Oh yeah, I know. I love it down there. That's where my family lives. That's why I'm familiar with it. I've been visiting that area since probably 1979, 1976. Yeah, it's neat. It's really cool. Mount Palomar up there, that's really awesome. Lake Henshaw, it's cool. It's such an awesome place to camp. I met the nice shit. We could have even crossed paths. I was a skinny, freaking long-haired, I had dreadlocks. I probably weighed 100 pounds. Oh, right on. Yeah, me too. That's why I live in the Appalachians. Right on. That's surprising. Wow, you're the first person ever I met that you lived in that area. That's where I kicked drugs. I had my buddy drop me off up there in the middle of nowhere, so I couldn't get anything. And I never looked back, and that's how I kicked drugs 30 years ago. I smoke weed for my MS, but that's it. I don't even drink. I think I had one beer this year. Yeah, Colorado's so nice. The air is so clean. And, you know, after you live there for like a week and you get acclimated to the altitude and everything, don't you feel so much healthier in Colorado? I did when I lived in Colorado. I haven't been stoned since I was 12. Half my families are like real deal hippies. They like live on school buses. They've been touring with the Dead since the 60s. You know, so my dad looked like Willie Nelson. You know, my dad rode a chopper and he had long braids and long beard and he worked on hot rods. So I was kind of around it when I was growing up. They'd always lie to me and tell me they farted when I'd smell the weed. There goes an ambulance. Yeah, Freedom Rock, baby, turn it up. Remember the hippies in the commercial with the Freedom Rock? So where are we going? Where was I? Yeah, I'm kind of enjoying that Aurora Borealis. We could go for a walk. I can't remember what I keyed up. Oh yeah, let's watch a video. Dude, you're a riot to chat with. Yeah, right on. Well, my family's a little different. They all have guns. They all went to Vietnam, you know. So some were like Hell's Angels, but they're kind of hippies. Like my dad was a very peaceful person. My dad was the nicest, kindest person I ever knew. But like some of my uncles, you know. Yeah, me too. I'm gonna get up. You gotta tune in sometime when I'm showing my weapons. I don't want to grab my rifle. I have a 1853 Enfield 58 caliber black powder rifle. I used to do reenacting for years here in Gettysburg. Don't get up. Right on. Yeah, I get a bunch of old antique firearms, but they're repros. I have one original, but they're all repros, but they're working firearms, 58 caliber, for historical reenacting. Yeah, they're nice. Right on. Do your thing, sister. I was going to play some videos, and I will be here to chat. You guys will hear me farting in the background, so I was going to play a little bit of Last Kingdom before bed. And I mean the audio book by Tom Selwood. I think there's 3 versions of it. I have all the versions of all the audio books. And I have Bernard Cornwell's permission. He's my uncle. The Warlord Chronicles. There we go. Cool beans. Fatigue. Fatigue sucks. Outsmart. Boy, I'm a different kind of MS warrior. MS, I have MS, but MS doesn't have me. Bullshit. I can prove it. Meet me for lunch on Thursday at 1 o'clock. Can't make any promises. Dude, sister, you just took the words right out of my mouth. You just took the words right out of my mouth. A million things to do and no energy to do anything. You ain't kidding. My friend Kathy G. I have some good friends. If you, yeah, I gotta send you some. I gotta hook you up with my girlfriends on Facebook. As you can imagine, most of my friends with MS are ladies, and they're about our age. Most of them are moms. I got some good MS girlfriends on Facebook I'll hook you up with. They got a couple of their own groups. The girls, Sarah and Kathy and Jill and Dawn, my good MS friends. And because when I first got hit with MS, they were my friends that I first met that I reached out to, and so they've had MS for years, and they pointed me in the right direction. And so my friend Kathy, I asked my friend Kathy, I said, so Kath, I said, so what happened with your relationships and your friendships and stuff? And you mentioned candy coating. I said, do you know, how did MS affect your relationships on a weekly basis with your friends that you've had for years? And she said to me, and I just met the girl, and she's a mom. Her mother is a mayor of a major city in Canada. And she's a mom. She's got several kids. Real nice lady. She puffs buds just like I do, rock and roll. And Kathy said straight up, she goes, you don't have any friends anymore. She said, we're your friends now. Welcome to the club. And so I appreciated that, because that's the way I am. I'm straight up. That's the way you gotta be. You gotta be honest. If you ask me a question, I'll tell you the absolute truth. I never lie, ever. My MS navigator is a former FBI agent. She'll tell you I never lie. And if that ends our friendship because you don't like my honesty or my answer, so be it. That's the way I was raised. That's my learned behaviors and my culture. So when she gave me that, she said that, I appreciated the hell out of that. Straight up honesty. Oh, you ain't kidding. I like how you put that. Yeah, but what you said right up there, so many people, what you said right there, and thanks for this chat. I'm not in any MS scene. I'm up here in my treehouse. Thanks for coming by. You're always welcome. What you said, a million things to do and no energy to do anything. I can't count the number of times people have said to me, why don't you have this done? Why haven't you done this yet? Why haven't you done that yet? And so my response is, buy a dictionary and look up the word disabled. Please watch my MS videos. But thank you for making that statement, because you hit the nail right on the head. I'm right there with you. Yeah, fuck a duty do. There's so much shit I'd love to be doing in here, and I'm just like, I want to get all this shit done. So my day is like getting a bath, maybe. Getting a meal, maybe. Doing my dishes, likely. That's about it. A meal, a bath, and dishes. I've had trash that's been sitting there for like a week because I can't get out. And on a good day, with assistance, I'll get some laundry done. I'll go to the store with my navigator, because I don't leave here without assistance at all. And because my brain's just in slow motion. You know the drill. Kai. What's shaking, buddy? Kai, it's nice to see you. And Sammy here, my dear MS sister, she's also an MS warrior. And Kai is always so supportive in MS circles. Right on, Kai. That's what I was doing. I was chilling. I was actually going to play some Fireside Tales of Days of Old, but Sammy came in and she wanted to chat, so right on. 2003, that's a long time. I was diagnosed in 2000, yeah, so 10 years ago. Wow, so we passed my 10-year anniversary of my diagnosis. That would have been, I think, the first week of August. I have photos when I was diagnosed and I went to the neurologist. Was a buffoon. He was a buffoon. His degrees didn't even freaking hold a candle to mine, and the guy was a joke. His tests were it was a joke. It was funny. You guys want to hear a funny story? And this is no shit. I ain't joke. I ain't putting you on. So I go down. I take the day off of work. All right, and so I'm an estate gardener, and I have really nice properties. My best property was the 5th biggest insurance company in the country, and really nice people, family I grew up with. And but so I missed out on that, you know, a couple $100, and to go down to talk to this neurologist. And so he waves a pencil. He waves a. Are we good? I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. So he waves a pencil in front of my face, right? And so he's like, follow the pencil. So I drove like 2 hours and I took a day off of work for this guy to wave a pencil in front of my face and tell me I don't have MS. And so my original doctor, Dr. D'Angelo, said you're going to start losing your motor skills, your cognitive function. I didn't even know what that was. I was like, wow, it sounds delicious. And thanks for listening to my story. But there is a funny part, you guys are just going to laugh. It's ridiculous. But this shit really happens to me. Oh my God. So he waves this, I'm just going, where did you go to school? Never heard of it. Right? So I'm like, anyway, so this guy's this very nice doctor, he's a very nice older gentleman, he's probably 70, 65, right? Very nice guy, older guy, like an uncle, you know? And he's got this pencil. But right behind him, okay, is this pretty cute nurse. Okay, she's probably 40, all right? She's, at the time, yeah, 44, yeah, she was almost my age. And so, yeah, I would have been 44. And she's sitting back to you guys, I'm not joking. This girl, and she was cute and everything, right? But there's a problem. She has a ring in her finger. What's she doing? She's sitting back there just making the most obnoxious coming on to me. She's looking at me just like right, but she's standing behind the doctor. He can't see what she's doing. And I'm just sitting there looking, I'm going, what the fuck are you doing? You're wearing a fucking wedding ring on your finger. Are you out of your mind? Lady, you're gonna make a mess. It's just nice meeting you, doctor. You have a nice day. Right? Yeah, that really happened. And so anyway, I blew it off, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't have MS. You guys, I look like Brad Pitt in Fight Club. Okay? So can you imagine? I look like Brad Pitt. My body, I was in great shape. I could fucking run 10 miles. I could run 10 miles. I could do 100 pull-ups. I could do 100 push-ups. I was rock solid. So I'm like, fuck you. I don't have MS. You're smoking crack. And I really said that. I'm like, I don't have MS. You're out of your mind. You're a quack. 5 years later, couldn't walk. Couldn't remember what day it was. I couldn't remember what year it was. I couldn't remember my girlfriend's name one day. I had to look up my girlfriend on Facebook because I couldn't remember her first name. Lady I was dating, very nice lady. Lady who helped me fix my narcolepsy, as a matter of fact. A lady who actually brought me my first meds and said, I want you to try these, and she was a professional career nurse at a top hospital in the country, Johns Hopkins. Yeah. Table, it's crazy how fast it can go. Dude, I had no idea, Sammy. I never ever saw myself not being able to walk. You ever seen that video, the MS video with Dash, the black dude, and he's the runner, and he's kick-ass, and he's like, Dash can't run, and it's like, fuck, bro, I'm right there with you, brother. I know the feeling. It's very interesting. I never intended on having an MS chat, but I'm always up for one. MS is tragic and fascinating. Yeah. Table. You guys, what is it? Christmas Eve? Christmas Eve. Is today Christmas Eve for the Christians? Kai, what religion are you? I am a pagan. And I'm a real pagan. I'm not like those silly pagans you see on YouTube. And you see, I've completely forgotten what we were talking about. Have you? I've only been ill, really ill, Sammy, for like 15 years. 15 years ago, my hemochromatosis started hitting me. Probably right before that, I injured myself during Hurricane Katrina cleanup, and I got chronic costochondritis. Last a lifetime. The treatments for hemochromatosis I cannot do because, or for costochondritis, treatments for costochondritis I cannot do because it's dangerous for my hemochromatosis. So I have a plethora of illnesses that there's so many strategies. For example, multiple sclerosis medicines that many of you take. I can't touch that stuff at all. It'll adversely affect my other illnesses. So I don't need one cure, I need 5. I'm non-religious. Dude, come over and worship some tacos with me, brother. We will sacrifice some freaking tacos to the cheese god, no shit. Dude, you have Costo? It sucks, man. I was freaking chainsawing these big trees. I'm sorry if I'm so old-fashioned. I'm like, I have to lean into the mic, you know, because it's a mono 2-bit rate. So, dude, you have you're Kai, you are the second person that I know that I've been acquainted with that has costochondritis. The woman that I just spoke of, she's also one of my subscribers. She's a friend of mine. Her daughter was also a donator to my wheelchair fund, has costochondritis. And her name is Sammy, as a matter of fact. Dude, I'm dying for some tacos. I've got some burger and seasoning and everything in there. My tortillas and chips were bad. I gave them to the birds. The birds love me. Dude, you're the first person that I've met probably on the internet that has costochondritis. So mine is mostly in my rib cages here. And I'm sorry if that's a little dark, you guys. Is in my rib cages, but it mostly affects me over here. But this is also where I have cirrhosis of the liver. The scarring on my liver is caused by hereditary hemochromatosis, toxic iron overload disease. And so I have the costochondritis and my swelled liver with the scars. I'm a fucking war hero. Holy shit, I'm still kicking. I was supposed to be dead 15 years ago. And then I was supposed to be dead 10 years ago, and I'm still here. Why? What is my number one thing that I would say to anybody to subscribe to? The number one thing to keep your ass alive is diet. Eat what you're supposed to eat and do not eat what you're not supposed to eat. Simple as that. I don't eat most of the shit you guys eat at all. I usually eat maybe 5 foods. I don't eat greens. I don't touch iron or nothing like that. I can't take in any iron. Diet is insane. You see, about 17,000 years ago, my Scandinavian ancestors were eating primarily a diet of high iron greens and North Sea high iron whitefishes for thousands of years. It causes genetic evolution that was adversely affected our blood and our iron levels, our retention levels of our iron, processing of the iron. So keep eating those Big Macs, 1 billion served. We're going to be, our great, great, great grandchildren are going to be born. They're going to look like Ronald McDonald and the Hamburglar. The upper ribs. Yeah, man, dude, in the ribs it hurts. My friend Samantha, her costochondritis is, I guess it's in the middle of her chest. And so I tore my cartilage away from the bones because I was chainsawing these big ass trees out of Zoo America right after the storm from Hurricane Katrina. I don't think I slept for 3 days. And so I injured myself and I blew it off. I totally blew it off. I thought I just pulled a muscle, but then it started catching up with me. And then one day Dr. Fox over at Hershey Medical Center was doing a investigation on my ribs and they couldn't figure out what it was. But one day she did. She goes, "You got costochondritis." She goes, "But unfortunately we can't treat your costochondritis because we use B12 injections. B12 is poison for you because you have toxic iron overload, hereditary hemochromatosis." And Sammy, you know you're getting older when all we do is talk about our woes. Oh man, your pancreas, that's hardcore. Holy shit. What the heck do you do without a pancreas? You're still kicking, girl. We spoke about guns. You want to see my Enfield? I think I have a full-size cam somewhere. Where am I? Give me un momento. I have to turn the heat off too. I'm roasting in here. Give me 1 second, guys. I will be right back in a flash. If you hear me fall down, you come in at your own risk. I might be laying naked on the floor. You'd be scarred for life, or it'd be the best day ever. It's up to you. I'll be right back. Alright, I made it. Oh shit. Man, I gotta get moving. I got toys to deliver. Reindeer being freaking stubborn and everything. Can you believe it? Alright. We'll look at these real quick. And then I'll have to throw them on the couch. Cool beans. Hey. That was a trip. Awesome. Right on. Now I have some shows and some streams. I have different video series. I have different, the springs broke. Springs broke in that puppy. I need a new spring in it. That's a Navy Colt revolver. I think it's a 38 Navy Colt revolver. What year is it? I think it is I think it's a 48 or a 52. I can't remember right off the top of my head. This was a gift from an actor friend of mine, one of the nicest people I ever knew. And you would go to my friend's house and you would knock on the door and you would never know who was going to answer the door. It could be Stalin, it could be Winston Churchill, it could be anybody from history, because my friend would do up all this makeup and he'd put on an accent and he'd portray all these wild characters from history. And he'd always, and so yeah, my dear friend passed away from liver disease. He could not get a liver transplant on time. Welcome to America. And so that's something that he left to me. You guys, I apologize so much if I'm missing your chat. Not dead yet. Dude, you guys. And so I use that. What I was saying is I have a series called excursions into the past. I also have a video series called Field Notes from the Fringes of the Earth, which is nature related. My excursions into the past is about history and living history and that sort of thing. You guys get the idea. But I've done some episodes, and I will do more future live stream episodes where I pull out all of my antiques and uniforms and my hats and my guns and my swords and all my fun stuff. And I've done that a few times. And right, fixed bayonets, baby. So this is my Enfield. It's a 58 caliber. It shoots golf balls. It'll take someone's head off. And so this is a reproduction of a British 1852. It's an 1852 58 caliber Enfield. This is a almost, I shouldn't say brand new, but it's a reproduction Armasport. And so I'd probably use this in, I don't know, 100 battles. Big battles. Shitloads of gunpowder. You can't even see anything. Right. Right on. So there's my bayonet. And so I'll bust my stuff out sometime this winter, and well, hopefully sometime when my daughter is here, because she will do a ladies' history presentation, and she's been doing that for 15 years. My right leg's in pain today, but my left leg's not really bothering me. You guys, I am so sorry I missed your chat. Kai is a very nice young man. And Sammy is my favorite great-great-granddaughter. Warning on the door, come in naked. This is what you do. Listen, you guys. Dude, it's going to be Christmas morning. Oh my gosh, you poor Christians. So tomorrow morning I'm going to go around to every door that has a Christmas tree lit up in the window, and you stick a little sticky note on the door that says, stop stealing my newspaper, right? And then you sit there and you look out the window, and I'm up at the top drinking my coffee, and they all come out, and they're all just staring at each other. Hairy eyeballs everywhere. And then I yell out the window, Merry Christmas! Happy birthday, Jesus! I read it in the paper. I'm almost as old as you. Heck, I thought I was the oldest person on Twitch. I'm 793. I was born in Lindisfarne. The Vikings invaded. They impregnated the monks. "56 in dog years, right on." Dude, I'm going to come back as a yak. I can't wait. I'm going to be a Sherpa's yak. I'm going to see the best sights. It's going to be awesome. I get to eat chai that's grown by the Dalai Lama. So, watch a little video, guys, and please feel free to ask questions. Let's see where we're at. Hey, I'm still here. Awesome. Kai, it's nice crossing paths. You guys are both really nice people. And I met Kai through multiple sclerosis circles. And Samsara, she landed on my house in a reindeer. So you guys, are you going to have any kind of... Kai says he's not religious, but I don't know if you guys celebrate any kind of a new year or, you know, have a meal, that sort of thing. I have plenty of great food. But oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I met you guys both at the same time. I like you guys. A canid, right on. I used to have a full-blood American timber wolf named Chloe. She was very intimidating. She was so nice. General winter holiday, like a lot of people, yeah. Yeah, we drink, we fuck, and we fight for like 2 weeks. Pays to be a pagan, man, I'm telling you. so let's have a look. What did I do? I'm playing some of my stuff from YouTube. Let's take a look at Yule. See what I can do to entertain you. And welcome to my world. You guys are always welcome over. You guys should come over and have some pizza. I shot this off my balcony.
The gods are the gods, ruling thunder and commanding storms. They are the lords of night and day, of fire and ice, the givers of disaster and
oh, you
of
ain't
triumph.
kidding, Kai. It's been very quiet in here for 5 years.
A dark sky. The gods make the sky. It reflects their moods, and they were dark that day. It was high summer, and a bitter rain was spitting from the east. The old gods are still worshipped, of course, but they're being driven back into the high valleys, into the lost places, to the cold northern edges of the world.
Thor and Odin walked on our hills, slept in our valleys, loved our women and drank from our streams, and that makes them seem like neighbours. The other thing I like about our gods is that they're not obsessed with us. They have their own squabbles and love affairs and seem to ignore us much of the time. I've never been so stupid as to think that Thor, or Odin, or Hoda loved me, though I hope at times they have thought me worthy of them. What the gods like is chaos. All my life I have followed the path of the sword. Given a choice, and I have been given many choices, I would rather draw a blade than settle an argument with words, for that is what a warrior does, but most men and women are not fighters. They crave peace. At the world's ending, when the gods will fight each other, all mankind will be stricken with a great frenzy, and the rivers will flow with blood, and the sky shall be filled with screaming, and the great tree of life will fall with a crash that will be heard beyond the farthest star. But all that is yet to come.
I touched Thor's hammer that hung from my neck. Weird bithful arad. Fate is inexorable.
The Yule feast was the biggest celebration of the year. A whole week of food and ale and mead and fights and laughter and drunken men vomiting in the snow. And there were horse races, wrestling matches, competitions in throwing spears, axes and rocks. And my favourite, the tug of war, where two teams of men or boys tried to pull the other into a cold stream. I got drunk that Yule for the first time. Helplessly drunk so that my legs would not work, and I lay moaning with a throbbing head, and Ragnar roared with laughter and made me drink more mead until I threw up. Ragnar, of course, won the drinking competition, and Raven recited a long poem about some ancient hero who killed a monster, and then the monster's mother, who was even more fearsome than her son. But I was too drunk to remember much of it. And after the Yule feast, I discovered something new about the Danes and their gods. For Ragnar had ordered a great pit dug in the woods above his house, and Rorik and I helped make the pit in a clearing. We axed through tree roots, shoveled out earth, and still Ragnar wanted it deeper, and he was only satisfied when he could stand in the base of the pit and not see across its lip. A ramp led down into the hole, beside which was a great heap of excavated soil. The next night, all Ragnar's men, but no women, walked to the pit in the darkness. We boys carried pitch-soaked torches that flamed under the trees, casting flickering shadows that melted into the surrounding darkness. The men were all dressed and armed as though they were going to war. Blind Raven waited at the pit, standing at the far side from the ramp, and he chanted a great epic in praise of Odin. On and on it went, the words as hard and rhythmic as a drum beat, describing how the great god had made the world from the corpse of the giant Ymir. and how he had hurled the sun and moon into the sky, and how his spear Gungnir was the mightiest weapon in creation, forged by dwarves in the world's deeps. And on the poem went, and the men gathered around the pit seemed to sway to the poem's pulse, sometimes repeating a phrase. And I stared out into the woods, watching the shadows, wondering what things moved in the dark, and thinking of Shadowgengen. I often thought of the Shadowgengen, the Shadow Walkers. It had been well known that there were Shadow Walkers who moved silent and half seen across the land, mysterious creatures who could change their shapes. One moment they were wolves, then they were men, or perhaps eagles, and they were neither alive nor dead, but things from the shadow world, night beasts. And I stared into the dark trees, and I wanted there to be Shadowgengen out there in the dark, something that would be my secret. I remember my excitement that night at the notion of harnessing the power of the Shadow Walkers, before a whinny brought my attention back to the pit, and I saw that the men at the ramp had divided, and that a strange procession was coming from the dark. There was a stallion, a ram, a dog, a goose, a bull, and a boar, each animal led by one of Ragnar's warriors, and at the back was an English prisoner, a man condemned for moving a field marker, and he, like the beasts, had a rope about his neck. I knew the stallion. It was Ragnar's finest, a great black horse called Flamestepper, a horse Ragnar loved. Yet Flamestepper, like all the other beasts, was to be given to Odin that night. Ragnar did it. Stripped to his waist, his scarred chest broad in the flamelight, he used a war axe to kill the beasts one by one, and Flamestepper was the last animal to die, and the great horse's eyes were white as it was forced down the ramp. It struggled, terrified by the stench of blood that had splashed the sides of the pit, and Ragnar went to the horse, and there were tears on his face as he kissed Flamestepper's muzzle. And then he killed him. One blow between the eyes, straight and true, so that the stallion fell, hooves thrashing but dead within a heartbeat. The man died last, and that was not so distressing as the horse's death. And then Ragnar stood in the mess of blood-matted fur and raised his gore-smothered axe to the sky. "Odin!" he shouted. "Odin!" Every man echoed the shout, and they held their swords or spears or axes towards the steaming pit. "Odin!" they shouted again. All the corpses were taken from the pit and hung from tree branches. Their blood had been given to the creatures beneath the earth, and now their flesh was given to the gods above. And then we filled in the pit, we danced on it to stamp down the earth, and the jars of ale and skins of mead were handed around, and we drank beneath the hanging corpses. Odin, the terrible god, had been summoned because Ragnar and his people were going to war. I thought of the blades held over the pit of blood. I thought of the god stirring in his corpse hall to send a blessing on these men. I was only 10 years old, but on that night I knew what I would become. I would join the Shadowgengen. I would be a Shadow Walker.
I hope you guys enjoy this next bit. Made it
Was
myself.
The night before Yule feast, when all through the hall, Skatogenga were creeping to come for us all. The wool socks were hung by the hearth full of straw. We knew that great Odin would soon come to call. The children were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of Voluspa formed dreams in their heads. Mama in her jerkin and I in my mail had just settled down for the long winter's meal, when just outside the hall there arose such a clatter. I sprang from the hearth to see what was the matter. Away to the window of our hall I flew like an arrow. I threw open the door to look far and narrow. The moon on the ash and the new fallen snow gave the luster of midwinter to Midgard below, when what to my wondering eyes should appear but the All-Father himself upon his 8-legged Sleipnir. The cloaked old wanderer, one-eyed and solemn, I knew in a heartbeat it must be wise Odin. More rapid than ravens his children they came, and he bellowed and shouted and called them by name. Hail Thor, hail Bragi, hail Balder and Frey. Hail Idun and Sif, Skadi and Freya. From the night they come all to the top of the hall, to frolic and feast below the ash trees so tall. With long frost that bore the midwinter's night, when met with the Jotun they surely would fight. And up to the hall top Sleipnir did fly, with a sack full of coal, wise Odin one-eyed. And then with a thunderclap I heard on the roof, the pounding and pawing of 8 mighty hooves. As I drew in my sayax and was turning around, from the mists of Asgard Odin appeared without a sound. He was dressed in a cloak from his head to his foot, his hooded face covered with ashes and soot. A sack full of coal he had flung on his back. He appeared as a skald on the road opening his pack. His one eye it twinkled, his beard was so long, his face full of wisdom, his advice never wrong. His fist clenched with Gungnir drawn up as to throw, and the beard of his chin was as white as the snow. The reins of Sleipnir he held tight in his teeth.
Sammy, get some good rest. I'll see you soon on your stream or mine. Rest well, sister, and you have an awesome day. I'm glad to meet you, MS sister.
Father of the Aesir, and I smiled when I saw him. He beckoned me to draw near. With a wink of his one eye and a twist of his head, soon gave me to know I had nothing to dread. And the stockings he found,
Awesome,
the straw
Sammy.
for Sleipnir, left by the children at the
End of every year.
He spoke not a word, but went straight to his
work,
and filled stockings with coal, then turned with a jerk. And laying his finger aside of his nose, and giving a nod, he shared wisdom he had known. He sprang to his feet, to Sleipnir he then strode.
That's where you find me
away
on
they flew
Facebook.
from our sod-roofed abode. But I heard him exclaim, ere he had flown into the night, good Yule to all, and to all a good midwinter's night.
That was fun. Awesome. Let's take a walk. Hey guys, thanks for listening to that. If you are ever interested about my religion and how we used to celebrate solstice, you just heard a mouthful. A very good, well investigated and researched first person look into a solstice celebration in 870 to 910 AD. And that's how my ancestors would have celebrated. 9 sacrifices of most things, and humans usually criminals. We still kill a few chickens now and then. Right on, Sammy. Goopster, what's shaking? And Kai, thanks so much for hanging out. You guys are all really nice people. You guys would be having a riot here in my living room. You guys would all like each other. This chat won't scroll for me. Rock and roll. So we're looking at a little bit of wisdom from the holiest of my books, a book that I herald. And so these are some stanzas from the Havamal, the words of Har, the Great One, the words of the Allfather Odin. And so in the Christian religion you have 10 commandments. We have about 130. The Havamal comes from a greater volume of books, and it's somewhat like the Christian Psalms and Proverbs. Not exactly the same. We have a very different perspective. Goopster, good to see ya. Drinking wine, you lucky dog. Drink a glass for me, buddy. I do, actually. You want to see one, and I'll give you a story. Give me a second. I have a couple of skulls around here somewhere. I do. I have a fox skull, and I have a capsamel skull. Do you know what capsamel is? History lesson of the day. Since you said wine and skulls, let's talk about wine and skulls and Blackbeard. 1714 was such a good year. So this is the woods across the street. Right on. Oh, did you guys see my ass crack? Did you turn to stone? You did, didn't you? Oh, yeah. So when pirates in the early 1700s would attack and they would hijack a ship and they would loot the haul of all the booty. If they got a whole bunch of, usually Northern European wines are pink and white and they're very sweet. Like German wines, Polish wines, wines from the Netherlands or Belgium. Like Belgian beers are very fruity. They're delicious. So the pirates would get all this wine. I hope you guys are finding some value in these words. The pirates would get this wine, this booty. But they didn't want to drink the sweet wine. They didn't want the pink stuff. They didn't want the sweet wine. Okay, so what did they do? They took hot peppers, habaneros, jalapenos, really hot red peppers, and they'd stick it in the pink wine, in the sweet wine, cap it back up. They'd leave it sit for about a week, right? And it makes the pink wine all nice and spicy. That's what I make in that bottle. And so that's what the pirates called capsamel. Sweet wine that they mixed with peppers, make it, oh, it's delicious. It's really good. Leave it in there for about a week. Spices up that, you know, like the Bartles and James kind of stuff. Adds a kick to it. It's real nice. And so the pirates invented that with capsamel. And one of my ex-girlfriends, I grew up with this girl my whole life. She ended up being the principal of the high school that we went to. Have you guys ever had sex with the principal on top of the high school? I did. And so she gave this to me as a gift. What a rack. She sure looked different than in kindergarten. I got a rule these days. I don't date girls from my hometown anymore. It's weird. We seem to hook up years later and I live on the other side of the country. Welcome to my home, guys. I've been playing a lot of videos from Gettysburg here. I had a haunted incident last night, by the way. Yeah, common haunted incident that I have here. It's not me going nuts. Believe me, I'm not crazy. I'm totally lucid. All the shrinks, all the 17 shrinks that I have, they say I'm all good. Did you? You went to a Catholic high school? My ex-wife did too. She went to a private Catholic high school. She went to Paul VI in D.C. That was different, I bet. Right. What's shaking, Goopster? It's nice to see ya. Heck, I was going to play an audiobook for you guys and chill out, but you guys started chatting, so I'm all game. That's why I'm here. The number one reason I'm here is to chat with people and socialize, because Rapunzel, that freaking bitch, man, she freaking went out on the hair. She said she was coming back. She took the ladder with her and shit. She took my freaking debit cards. Can you believe that, Rapunzel? That Disney shit, man, they're liars. I'm telling you, she's not a good girl. Left me stuck up here in this tree house. Shows me about 700 years of lap dances. Any books on paganism, Wiccan, or anything not somewhat that get you expelled or something. My ex-wife is a Wiccan. She's a witch. My daughter is as well. When Catholic approved gets you expelled, for example. Yeah, that must have been really different. In my town where I grew up, we had a Catholic high school and we had like a Catholic elementary school. But I mean, they were so small. The Catholic population where I grew up were Italians from Chicago. What do you mean, no one? I'm no one? You mean I don't chat on your channel? I like Kai. I'm so sorry I've missed you, man. I haven't been able to catch Kai's stream lately at all. I've seen him on once or twice. Goop, I seem to be able to catch Goop quite a bit. Fair. Yeah, there's a whole district full of Catholic school where I used to live. No kidding. Kai, you told me just the other day. Didn't you, dude, please forgive me. Didn't you say Montreal? Did you say Montreal? I think you said you're in Montreal, right? Oh, dude, right on. I'm glad I remembered. Awesome. Yeah, well, that totally makes sense, man. You're in Montreal. My friend Kathy I was talking about, yeah, her mom's not the mayor of Montreal. She's the mayor of another big city just south of you. I haven't been there in years. I used to come up there to see the Dead. When I was probably your age, I used to come up there to see the Grateful Dead. And then one day we got caught by snow. We were up in Canada seeing the Grateful Dead. It must have been like 30 years ago. And it was really nice out. You know how it got, you guys know how it goes. Goop lives in Ohio, so he's between the both of us, right? So we're up in Canada and it was really nice out. So we wore like shorts and sandals. We didn't bring any winter clothes. And so we went to the concert and it was nice out. It was like 75. It was beautiful. We went in the concert and when we came out, there was like a foot of snow on the ground. We were freezing our asses off. Yeah, I was like, holy cow. So from like, you know, we must have left like the evening before, drove all night, and then drove most of the day, got to the concert, and it was really nice out. And then we got a Canadian surprise. We were like, holy shit, we didn't like really bring any, you know, luckily we got a hotel room because there's thousands of people in town, you know? There's like no hotel rooms. Yeah. We were freaking shocked. We couldn't believe it. Dude, I grew up outside Chicago. Chicago has serious winter, but not surprised like that. It was like really nice out. It was like a summer day, and then boom, holy shit, within 2 hours, there's like a foot of snow on the ground. If you're in my chat, then I don't have that problem. Right on. Dude, your Tropico game was fun, man. I can't stop thinking about tacos ever since. That was interesting, that management of that Tropico game. And I still... Dude, I hopped on your stream the other day, Goop. I was on your stream the other day, maybe yesterday, maybe the day before, I can't remember. And you were playing Slice and Dice. But I could hear somebody in the background, but it wasn't you. It was somebody else. And your screen was just blue. I don't know if you were getting ready to start your stream or... I don't know, maybe you were away. You had something going on. You were getting eaten by the neighbor kids or something, yeah. They were gonna put you in the microwave. 4 seasons at once. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, you see, we got blasted by snow about a half a foot for a day. And it's already gone. But it's like 0 outside. I'm not going up. Dude, I've got wool and socks on and pajamas. I've got Mexican blankets over my big sliding glass doors. I've got Mexican blankets, and then I've got army blankets at the bottom. I've got the heat on 78 in both sides of the house, and it's still cold in here. And I love the cold. I do. Oh, did ya? No shit. I did that one time. I left my stream on and I was rolling around in my wheelchair naked with my Gandalf mask on. I got 600 followers in about 5 minutes. Nudity, man. It's good for business. Dude, I ain't even puffing. Do you guys puff? I don't think you do. Let's go. What's the let's go? What are you talking about? Let's go. You guys do that all the time. What's up with that? The let's go. What am I supposed to be doing? Where am I supposed to be going, Goop? Goop, we got to do a radio show. You got a great voice, dude, for radio and streaming and shit. Yeah, you have a good, entertaining voice. You have a happy-go-lucky, kicking it, having a good time voice. I did get about 400 in about 5 minutes once. It almost shut my stream down. And then I turned around and I hosted the entire MS Society and Team MS to 1,100 viewers for 11 days. I'm so selfish. Pay it forward, bros. Pay it forward. A friend of mine who's a game developer, I was promoting his game, and we became personally acquainted on my Facebook. If you're on my Facebook, we're personally acquainted. And so he has a friend who's a gigantic streamer. He gets like 10,000 followers a month. And so he hooked us up, and this guy started rating me and hosting me. Helped me out. Get a great face for radio. You're fucking hilarious. Dude, listen, when if you do t-shirts, if you ever do like make your own t-shirts, dude, you've got to, on the front, you got to have your goop character, your goop hero. All right? The goop hero, right? With that saying right there. Great face for radio. And on the back, I am goop. Great face for radio. I am goop. Dude, they're going to think about that and then they won't forget your name. Yeah, that's punk rock band name of the day. Great face for radio. You should. You guys do that all the time. You guys say stuff all the time. When you're in my channel and you guys sit there and you say stuff, and it's like perfect slogans for your channels, perfect slogans for your t-shirts. Like Kyle will say something or Alpha will say something, and it's like perfect stuff. Put it right on a t-shirt, put your name on it. You said it. The simplest things, the smallest of things, are oftentimes the biggest of things to the smallest of people. Oftentimes the biggest things are the smallest things to the biggest of people, and vice versa. And so I find the most insignificant things so compelling and so worthwhile and so valuable. And in my life, I've taken those small, insignificant things that people say, and I run with them. One of my clients ran a big insurance company, and he said to me, "Wouldn't it be better if?" And I never forgot it. So, my friends, I challenge you to start every sentence you can, every sentence that you can. I noticed I've been missing words. Try to start every sentence or every thought, every action with, "Wouldn't it be better if?" More people thought and acted upon, "Wouldn't it be better if?" more often, starting with the thought and the words and then the action. "Wouldn't it be better if?" More people thought and acted upon, "Wouldn't it be better if?" more often. A guy I grew up with now inherited that insurance company. And one day I said, he's like, "How you doing, with your hemochromatosis?" I'm like, "I'm doing all right." And I was taking care of his property as insurance offices. It's a guy I grew up with. And he said, "How's things going?" And I said, "Well, they could be worse." My cup was half empty. And he says to me, "Yeah, but things could always be better." And I immediately realized all I had to do is make a plan from point A to point B and how to get to the top of my mountain all over again, no matter how many times I fall off of it. And every time we climb back to the top of our mountain, we should try to remember all those little things that we missed the first few times we climb back to the top of our mountains. And if we keep committing those little things that we missed, every time we climb back to the top of our mountain after we fall off will be so much easier because we'll remember the way. So if you fall off your mountains, guys, remember you got there before you can get there again. And here we are. surviving just like everybody else. And thanks for letting me share my thoughts. Thanks for spending a little bit of your time and a little bit of mine. So who's coming over? I'll buy you fly. Ryko, good to see you, Lord Ryko. Uber Huskarl. Ryko's not like a Huskarl though. Ryko's like a Skadu Genga. He can disappear at will. He can merge and blend in. What's shaking, buddy? You're always welcome. I'm gonna have to do a grocery delivery. That's the best part. You don't even have to fly. I can just order the food. We were watching some videos. Ryko, I know you've seen them all before. How's your day? Were we at the cabin? I think we were at the cabin. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. Rock and roll. Just floating around, right on. Awesome, man. This puff's for you. Oh, you guys, who was talking? Somebody. One of you guys, Kai or Goop or Sammy, mentioned, where the fuck did that go? That's right, that's some funny shit, man, I'm telling you. Somebody mentioned something about dwarves and wheelchairs and bongs or something. Oh, this puff's for you, Lord Ryko. This puff's for you, baby. Sing it, boys. Sing it. In a cloud. Right on, brother. Right on. Oh, fuck. I'll tell you what, man. That's just like the look on my face when I just got to get some herb. I'm telling you. Holy hell. Rock and roll. Dude, welcome. Good to see you. Good solstice to you, my friend. I was going to play... I was actually going to play a fireplace, and I was going to play The Last Kingdom with Tom Selwood reading Bernard Cornwell's first book in the Warlord Chronicles. And then these nice folks came on, Goopster and Sammy, my MS sister, and Kai, MS Warrior. Nice to see you guys. Thanks for stopping in and chilling. What's for din din, y'all? I had Warlord's Hobo Pie, where I take the potatoes and I put them in a glass bowl, and then I put a pot pie in the potatoes, and then I bake it, flip it onto the plate. Just floating around. Ryko, I hope you had an awesome day, and I hope your lady as well. Spaghetti. Salting a turkey. Dude, heard nothing. Kai, you're going to have to go back and clip that. I think I was talking some heavy-duty magical shit. Futhark. Now, you know, when Odin looked down into the Well of Erd and he saw the runes, and he understood and he could read them, doesn't mean that we could. So who knows what we think we're reading. Dude, chicken wings. Oh, dude, thanks for the reminder. Thank you, Kai. Thank you, Kai. Thank you, Kai. You see. Gotta keep the list. So when you guys mention shit, dude, Itchy, good to see you, Itchy. Itchy's freaking streaming hardcore. Get some rest, buddy. You freaking stream like a machine. Thanks for the lurk, Itchy. Well, I forget shit. At the store, at the market here on my side of town, West Gettysburg is Old Gettysburg, so we have one locally owned employee-owned market with all produce and stuff from the local area. But they have big bags of chicken wings. And for somebody like me, chicken wings are easy to make. I throw them in the air fryer, boom, I'm done. I get some ranch dressing, I'm set. And I keep forgetting about the chicken wings until you just mentioned them. I was supposed to get those months ago. Because there's a lot of times, man, I can't steam up no cabbage. I can't make a pork chop. I can't do that. I need something simple. Chicken wings, baby. Rock and roll. If you ever want to clear the street for a bomb squad, right? You just get like a bunch of orders of chicken wings and you just throw them everywhere. The streets will clear. They'll be going after the chicken wings, I'm telling you. So when you're in the city, you guys know at the end of, this was so much fun. At the end of the Blues Brothers film with John Belushi and Dan Aykroyd, at the end of the film when all the cars and everything are going in and closing, that's Daley Plaza in Chicago. And that big red bird looking thing is a big Picasso sculpture. And so my friends in the 80s, my friends would skateboard up on there, right? But we'd keep saltines in our pockets when we were teenagers. I hung out in the city. I was in Chicago all the time. I was a punk rocker, skateboard. So we'd take these saltines in our pockets, and that's where we hung out in Daley Plaza. And all the business people, the stuffy, uppity business folks, all the tools plugged into the Matrix would be rolling through Daley Plaza. And you guys, if you live in a city like Montreal, you know this, right? You take the saltines and you like throw it up in the air, and at the machine, at the cyborgs with the fedoras, and the pigeons will descend upon the saltines and the person, and just land all over them to get the saltines. We had so much fun. They bring me some chicken wings. Thanks for the chat, guys. You had the saltines with the birds and the... Yeah, we're a bunch of punk rock kids back in the 80s, so they didn't give us any thought till we threw the saltines. We had fun. It was actually at that moment, no shit, when we were throwing saltines in Daley Plaza, sitting up on the Picasso, that I discovered and I was turned on to Django Reinhardt in 1930s and 1940s three-finger lightning swing, because that's what my friends were listening to. A bunch of punk rockers on skateboard, but they're listening to this 30s freaking guitar swing. It was badass. Same music you guys hear in the Mafia game. And so back in the 80s, we're still playing Pac-Man, but that's what my friends were listening to. I was like, damn, that's really great. And they're like, yeah, light one up. It's even better. I'd talk all day if you let me. That's why I came on Twitch. I remember McCader coming. One time, I think we were doing his developer stream, and we were guests on his stream. And he said, yeah, I go into Warlord stream, and thank you for allowing my narcissistic ass to talk about myself. Because, yeah, I come into Warlord's channel, he's playing Warband in the middle of the night. There's no one on his channel at all, but he's just sitting there talking up a storm. I was like, hey, just because you don't see them doesn't mean they're not there. Smoke them if you got them. I was looking for something that would be oh so good. The VOD watchers. I don't understand, Raiko. I got lost. Very true, there are also VOD watchers. What did I forget? What is that in reference to? I'm so glad you've gotten used to my condition. It's got to be incredibly annoying when I have to ask people to explain themselves. Video on demand's the talking to no... Oh, right on. Yeah, right on. Now I got you. Now I understand. Cool. Thank you. Right on. Oh, I know VODs, but I didn't understand what you meant about the VOD watchers. Right on. Cool. Now I got you. VOD watchers. Talking to no one. Right on. Because I forgot what I said. Should we go? Oh crap, we got to. I love it. Oh hell yeah, something totally fun. You ain't kidding. I must have 100 Twitch folders for 100 different scenes. I'm gonna leave it to someone. Here we go. Now I'm in the right place. Bitchin', bitchin'. Hell yes. Let's go, go, go. Right. This was the first song that I ever heard Wardruna do, and it was one of their very first live performances, and they were doing this song at, I think, either the Bergen or Oslo Viking Ship Museum, and that girl, Hella, her voice, holy shit, I was like, the hair was sticking up on my arms, her voice, she was just electric. I was like, wow, that girl can sing. Enjoy. Wardruna is a great, very talented, very gifted skalds, bards, sculpts for the Anglo-Saxons. In ancient times would be called sculpts, and skalds are Norse, Northern European. But these guys, they are a great new band. Older bands that when I was Kai's age, I was in my 20s, Hednagarna, Garmarna, and those were the two we listened to the most. There's somebody else. These guys are great. Enjoy. And thanks for enjoying with me. No one. Video on demand. Talking no one, no one, no one. Please ask me a question about multiple sclerosis. Einar is, I think, the greatest bard of our century, of this century. Last century, I'd have to think about it. I'd have to say the guys from Hednagarna were the greatest pagan band of the last century. She is amazing. Blows me away. This song and her singing is one of the greatest things I've ever heard in music. For me personally. Should I shut up now? Thank you, Raiko. Listen to this. Here she goes, man. She's gonna open up. Thanks for enjoying my culture with me. at the Oslo Ship Museum, the volume, it was just so powerful. I think because of the room that the ships were in, they hardly even had a microphone. You guys have probably seen it. Yeah, she's awesome. Her voice is like Shaka Khan, baby. I told you I was Charlie Bucket. I didn't get the golden ticket, but I got the silver ticket. One for you, one for me. S'mores Pop-Tarts. And she's got such an amazing voice. For those of you that have joined me the past several days for Solstice, thank you, and a Merry Solstice to you all. And happy birthday to your God. Sincerely. If everybody in the world followed the 10 Commandments from the Christian Bible, without fail, we'd live in a perfect world. More Kringles for everybody. Awesome. We need to bust out some fun. Sweet. I gotta get some of these. Zug went out to Hawaii, and he does this all the time. He sent us some phone videos. He posted some videos on the Discord.
Yes?
I had a cape with me on the ship. Or it's more like a cloak, actually, just without the buttons all the way down. But anyway, I gave it to one of your colleagues who promised to return it when we reached our destination. So, I don't know. Maybe you can ask around for me, or...
Nope. Come here.
No. Oh, there is. Hi. He's the one. I'm the one who lent you my cape. That's my cape.
This is mine.
It's yours?
Yeah.
Well, isn't that quite a coincidence if you and I happen to use the same tailor in Rome and have the same family crests? I doubt that quite strongly.
Well, that is the case.
Come on, not even you can believe that. And you're wearing it all wrong, it's getting dirty. You're wearing it like an amateur.
You don't like dirt.
No. Who does?
Love this show. Fucking love this show. Is funny as hell.
Open your mouth. Don't bite. Whose cape is it? It's my cape.
Now that is a cultural tradition that still stands today. You have the opportunity to protect your property. Rock and roll, Reiko. Interesting to see the use of poi in that. Very cool poi. You have to explain. I don't know what that is. I don't even know what those things are called. They look like grenades on a chain. It looks really cool though. Those are bitchin'. This is a video I made years ago. I still have it laying around. It's low quality, but it's nice. Enjoy. Hope you like it. The flaming orbs in the chain poi is a flow. Oh, I did not know. Thank you for teaching me something new. I did not know that. That's awesome. Cool beans, man. Now I know. Awesome. I've never heard that before. I've always wondered. Loved that video for years, but I never knew what those were. That's bitchin'. Very cool. Thank you for sharing. Oh, heck yeah. Yeah, my mic's on. That flowing style like Kung Fu. Turning into a dance makes things so much easier. Like a kabukai. Very nice, cool. Absolutely. That's neat, man. I didn't know that. That's bitchin'. Super. Where to?
Arvid, Freya.
What are those? The horns on your helmet, are they simply decorative, or are you going to use them to impale people, or what?
Horns happen to be the latest fashion. You can't walk around with horns on your helmet. It looks ridiculous. Because you're such a fashionista? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so then you would probably know that fashion is about taking chances, experimenting, daring to be bold, while at the same time, of course, you had to wear something that you feel comfortable in.
Well, I sure wouldn't feel comfortable with those horns on my helmet.
Me neither. Okay, Freya, I can see that you've tried, but Arvid, what is this? What do you mean? This is no clan. It's an old man's clothing. You're so risk-averse that it's painful to watch. Take a chance.
If you haven't seen this, please watch
Okay.
it. It's funny as hell.
The helmet is a basic head cover, right? Yeah. But when you add some other material, like horns, it becomes something else. It's not just a helmet. It is something bigger, it tells a story, and that is what fashion is all about. Oh, I'll see you on the boat. I can promise you that. Horns on the helmet will never be popular.
No, he doesn't look like a Viking.
No. Arvid!
like $700. Stayed there for 2 weeks. There's 4,000, I think 4,000 people in the Isle of Skye. Go fishing. I forget what they're called, the little Scottish boats. I played a documentary on it one time here on Twitch. Nice. What's next, Warlord? Right on. That works. This one's loud. I know this one's loud. I never did reprocessing, John. I love this. Yeah, I think this is it's Garmana. Nope, wrong one. This is Hednagarna. Drop out Gilda. Hednagarna, the Heathens. I've probably been listening to this pagan band longer than any other pagan band. And then Wardruna came along. I can never find my socks. And they're always sitting right in my lap. Man, raises the hair on my arms. It's powerful stuff. We'll have to talk about the Kalevala and the Finnish gods and goddesses and tales. That's what we're looking at. Corellian lore. Days long gone. Man, that guy's got the best staff, doesn't he? Look at his freaking staff. Oh, I gotta get one. Big facts. Dude, see right there. Big facts on the front, Ryko the Dead on the back. That's your t-shirts. Skål. Prost. Cheers and Chindan to you all. 100 more years of good health and friendship. And may the coming year show you favor in all that you aspire to achieve. All of you everywhere. Right on, man. Thank you. I love this. We're gonna play that Beowulf and Grendel with Gerard Butler and Stellan Skarsgård. We'll play the cartoon too. Look at the props, man. Those are props, Warlord. That's real. That really happened. I had a GoPro in my Viking helmet. Yeah, you will. Right, go. Rock and roll. Awesome. I think I'm gonna play one more bit. We're gonna puff a bowl. And I'm gonna play one more bit from Fraser Thomas and WGN Channel 9 Chicago. Solstice Evening Classics. Shit, solstice is gonna be going on. My candle's still burning. I have a 3-wick big candle. I gotta keep them coming for a couple weeks. So I was gonna play one more scene and I think I'm gonna call it a night. It's after midnight. It's almost 1 a.m. It's freezing cold. It's awesome. The birds are fed and you guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much, all of you who rolled in here tonight with the kind company. Thank you very much. And good solstice to you all. Let's enjoy a little archery. And I will see you guys on the morrow. Peace, my friends.
Strange individual, to be sure.
I've never seen his like before. Well, whatever. He's got plenty of gold, and the way he inspects those points, no doubt he fancies himself as a bowman.
I'm not so sure about this one.
This has never failed yet. Listen, you play your part as always, and we'll have our pockets lined with his gold before the end of the hour. Well, go on, get rid of the blacksmith.
Good day to you, Master Blacksmith. I have a hard but rewarding task for you. Our wagon lies with a broken wheel a mile down the road. If you will repair it and return it here before sunset, you shall be paid handsomely. Part payment in advance. Hmm? Greetings. My friend and I could not help but notice the beautiful bow and arrows you tend so lovingly. Might one inquire if you're bound for the tournament at Brackley? Hmm? Permit me to introduce ourselves. This is Ralph of Coggeshall, Master Bowman, and I am his humble companion, Fitzwalter. To whom do I have the pleasure of addressing myself?
Crow.
Maybe our friend only cleans bows.
Oh, dear. I do believe my impetuous friend is challenging you.
He wastes his time and mine.
Ah, gentlemen, calm yourselves, I beg of you. Our friend here's not interested in children's games. He requires more serious inducement. Now, for a small wager, we could make it worth his while. What do you say, sir? Hmm?
Name the target.
We shoot from here. Whoever cuts their mark cleanly.
Our friend will take the red mark route. Bows to remain couched and arrows in their quiver until I give the signal. 3, 2, 1, shoot. Is that understood? Right, gentlemen. 3, 2, 1.
Leave the odds as they are. Continue.
3, 2, 1, shoot.
My arrow hit first.
The devil it did. My arrow left the bow first. There's only one way to settle this.
I forbid this.
You stay out of this, Fitzwalter. Well, little man, has the quake in your belly stopped your mouth?
I am ready.
Right, Fitzwalter. Count us down.
3, 2, 1. Shoot!
I never even saw it.
I knew your tongue would be the death of you. God's blood, I've a mind to take a gizzard out and throttle you.
Good fortunes to you, my friend.